Hello. In this video today, I hope to show weather changes in association with dual polarization radar. I hope to show that in a lot of cases 2 days prior to inclement weather, and in some cases the day before inclement weather, DPR in certain modes is causing effects to our weather. I believe if we continue to allow this to happen, we may be in jeopardy of adverse crop yields. March has been the hottest month on record. Weather across the country has been plus 16 degrees on average for this month of March. 2012 has already seen record-setting and early tornadoes. Even Oregon and Washington State have seen vortice cloud systems. Also, 2011 tornado season was at record levels, and also with flooding throughout the Midwest. What has changed during that time? We had the implementation of dual polar radar, polarization radar. It's been in the testing phase and now has been implemented starting in November throughout the United States, and will be implemented further on through 2013. Here we have a storm system, and you will see that the storm system changes. You'll see radar popping up here all the way up into Pennsylvania, and you can see on the right the following morning how the system is bent and started to adhere towards the radar propagation. This is one illustration. There's many illustrations to show this effect. March 13th, 2012. Notice how widespread this radar is. Notice which states in the next couple of days experience heating, seasonably high temperatures. Remember, we had a plus 16 degrees on average for the month of March, and this is on the 13th of March. From my understanding, these are radars are supposed to operate within a inside a certain range. As you can see, this one radar from the center of the state is going out hundreds of miles. Notice the geometric forms within inside these radars, and you'll notice in Chicago, you'll notice a large white spike coming out of there. Does this look like normal operation? I wouldn't say so. These are the temperature charts for the 13th through the 17th of March. That previous radar that we watched was on the 13th of March. Notice the temperature spikes on the radar. This is out of Oklahoma City. Notice 60 degrees to 80 degrees from the 12th through to the 14th. That radar that we've seen previously was on the 12th overnight to the 13th. This is out of Kansas City, roughly 72 up to 80 plus degrees. This is out of Omaha, again 68 up past 80 degrees overnight. at the same time that all that radar propagation was going on. Aberdeen, South Dakota, same thing. Radar spike overnight during that same time frame. Again, we have Des Moines, Iowa, same thing. Radar spike overnight on the 13th, 12th through the 13th. These are all areas that had the radar propagation on the previous video. Here we have Chicago, Illinois, same thing. This isn't a complete list, but it gives an example of how DPR can heat the environment. Here we have the tornado cell from the 2nd of March. If you notice right here, you'll see an anomaly, a cloud bursting out of the system below it. In a close-up view, you'll notice more. There's an electrical charge that comes shooting down this way. There's also 2 electrical beams that come out and hit this cloud twice. Is this normal? I don't believe it is. We've seen record-setting levels of tornadoes, rain, flooding, heat, all different types. Here you can see the spiking going on and the cloud taking off from the system below it. Tornadoes unleashed unprecedented damage across the nation in March 2nd, 2012. Early tornado season is not unheard of, but the intensity and the numerous numbers of tornadoes are rare. Sometimes you could see up to 12 to 13 tornadoes at any one time during this event. Weather modification in Congress. Calendar number 319. The 109th Congress convened on the first session S517. Report number 109-0202. The purpose of this was to establish Weather Modification Operations and Research Board and for other purposes. In the Senate of the United States, March 3, 2005. Mr. Hutchinson introduced the following bill, which was read twice and referred to the Committee of Commerce, Science, and Transportation. December 8, 2005, reported under authority of the order of the Senate of November 18, 2005, Mr. Stevens with an amendment and an amendment to the title 517th 109th Congress 2005 through 2006 Weather Modification Research and Development Policy Authorization Act of 2005. Interesting highlights of this the program scope. The National Research Program under the subsection A may include the following activities related to weather modification. Interdisciplinary research. Okay, that would be where they govern themselves inside the research. And coordination of research and activities to improve understanding of processes related to weather modification, including cloud modeling. Cloud modeling would be the formation of clouds. What type of clouds? How to model a cloud. How to make a cloud out of nothing. B. Cloud seeding. C. Improving forecast and decision-making technologies. D. Related severe weather research and potential adverse effects of weather modification. Just to note, I have not been able to find the studies of adverse effects of weather modification of the congressional study. I believe we need an open source to study the input levels of energy of DPR to the output of weather effects. Many times these stations are on when no adverse weather is perceived. At what cost is this to the taxpayer for the energy to sustain operations for no apparent reason? I urge you to do your own study and I will continue to look further. And I am not against weather modification or dual polarization radar. They have already saved lives with weather predictions. I do feel we need some oversight on this project. We don't know what levels they are running at. We don't know what adverse effects that these ranges have on us. We also need to set standards on what hertz and electronic output levels these are allowed to operate. Microwaves are better left for the kitchen than on us. It would only take one bad crop season to cripple America as we know it. A crop season like what was seen during the Dust Bowl would send our country and the world who rely on the United States to feed them into a tailspin that we would not be able to pull out of. This would have us totally reliant on the government for our consumption of our next meal. May complacency not leave us with empty bellies and tear-stained cheeks. Dual pole radar is being implemented all across this country this year. It is already in several locations, of which we have already seen a change in the climate. Please ask questions. At least maybe we can get an independent study to set a standard of operation to this system. It is our world we have to live in, and the environment has changed in recent years. I ask you, is it the same as you remember it? Is the sky as blue as it was when you would lay down and make figures out of the clouds? I love my country, and even served in the armed forces. I am concerned about our future, and I'm only bringing up the question for everyone in this country. A duck is a duck until it barks, then it is a dog. I urge you to call your representatives and ask questions. We only have one time around in this life until we have to pass it on to our children. What would you leave behind? I thank you for watching, and there'll be links below this video.